Hello and welcome to another edition of Focus on Morris County. I'm Joe Garifo, Public Information Director for the Morris County Government. Focus on Morris County is a program that's designed to keep us up to date on the actions that are being taken by the Morris County Board of Freeholders. And this show is also intended to make us all more aware of the many facets of Morris County government. Now, on this portion of the program, we are going to learn about the Morristown Pedestrian project. And here to tell us about that is my guest. She is Denise Lanza. Denise is the Assistant Deputy Director of the Morris County Park Commission. And we're going to find out how the Park Commission is involved in a pedestrian project in just a minute. First, Denise, welcome to the program.
Thanks, Joe. Thank you.
So what is the Morristown Pedestrian project?
Well, actually, the Morris County Park Commission and the Alliance for Morris County Parks had received a grant, an Achieve grant. And that grant encourages community wellness. And there are a lot of different facets of that, one of them being physical activity. And we thought that the Morristown Green was a good project to work on as far as pedestrian walkability.
So, well, I mean, the Park Commission has, about maybe like 19,000 acres of parkland.
Almost 20, yeah.
Almost 20,000 acres of parkland. Why are pedestrians a concern of the Park Commission?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, fortunately, the Achieve grant is actually a nationally funded effort with money from the Centers for Disease Control. And we received it through the National Recreation and Park Association. But one of their, I guess, encouraging recommendations is that you not focus strictly on parks, that you work with the local community, that you become a leader in the local community for the different facets of that community wellness program. Physical activity, as I said, healthy eating, addressing chronic disease, smoking cessation, those different types of activities using Parks and Recreation as the leader. So again, walkability around the green encourages people to have be more physically active, have more time on quote-unquote exercise. I don't like to use that word, but be more physically active, and then they'll come to the parks.
Yeah. Now, you mentioned the Alliance for Morris County Parks. What can you tell us about the Alliance?
The Alliance for Morris County Parks is about 12 years old now. It's a nonprofit organization that supports the Park Commission in their mission to provide programs and facilities to Morris County residents and visitors.
Are you working with any other agencies on this particular project, the pedestrian project?
Yeah, the Morristown Pedestrian Project actually brought together local, county, and state representatives, as well as some nonprofits. We worked with the Morris County Office of Health Management. We worked with the Morristown Partnership because the businesses might be involved. The Parking Authority was a great partner. And as I said, both the town of Morristown, the county of Morris, state of New Jersey, because one of the challenges with the green is all of those agencies, those three agencies, are responsible for some of the roadways coming in.
Yeah.
So we needed to talk to everybody. And they all came to the table, and they were all very positive.
Why the green? Why the Morristown Green? Why was that selected for this particular project?
Probably for a couple of reasons. The first was that our focus in the grant was not really county-wide. We wanted to focus a little bit closer in a more manageable project. So we used Morristown and Morris Township. The Morris School District brought us to Morristown and Morris Township. And, you know, just knowing that the green can be an economic engine for the town of Morristown, and if people are feel safe walking there and are encouraged to walk there, it's a benefit for everybody.
Now, for some of you who may not be familiar with Morristown, the center of town, and the Morristown Green, I guess we should say that the green is, would you say, a 1 square block area that sits in the center of town. There are park benches. A lot of folks have their lunch when weather permits on the green. There's a great Christmas village, a holiday village on the green. So it is really a focal point for the town of Morristown. Now, Denise, in the spring of 2011, you folks conducted a walk on the green.
Right.
Who were some of the folks who walked? What specifically were you looking for when you did this walk?
Well, we had a consultant working with us, Pam Fisher, who used to work with AAA and also used to work with the State of New Jersey Division of Highway Traffic Safety, so really, really good expert. And Pam suggested that we go out around the green and kind of look at things from a pedestrian perspective. You know, what works, what are the challenges? And we were joined by Lucas Frank from the Seeing Eye, for example, which is a very big population that utilizes that area. We were joined by Jen Waring from Morristown Partnership. We were joined by Jeff Hartke from Morristown, Pat Geary from the Parking Authority. Many folks who came in representing their agency, but basically kind of took off our IDs and just walked around and said, is it easy to walk around the green, and looking at the cars and what are the cars doing, and the traffic lights and those kinds of things. And we made a list.
So what did you find?
Well,
some of the things.
Yeah, some of the things are some of the paving stones. You know, they look gorgeous. They're on those little islands in the middle, but they heave, so they can be somewhat of a hazard. There aren't a complete set of curb cuts around the green. Some of the curb cuts don't have tactile surfacing on them, so the folks from Seeing Eye need to be able to know that there's a curb cut there. We found that not all the traffic signals are coordinated, and maybe there's too short a time period to cross the street, or maybe it's a little bit too long. And we made a list of all those items, and we separated that list out into the agencies that might be responsible for taking care of them.
Have you presented these recommendations or this list to those agencies yet, or is that something that you folks will be doing in the future?
We actually have sent the list to all the different groups, and got some comments back that, you know, the next round of repairs, or you know, the next time they're out there, because certainly we didn't want to create a new list of budget items that had to be taken care of. So our suggestion was, as you approach this down the road in the next few years, these are some of the things we suggest that you take care of. And there's been a great positive response to that.
Yeah. Now, besides infrastructure items on the list, did you notice anything about pedestrians and how pedestrians walk and what they're doing, and maybe some of the common mistakes that pedestrians make?
Right, right. Well, I think a lot of folks like to get to things quickly, and the easiest route is what they take. And here in New Jersey and in the Northeast, we want things fast. We want to get there right away. So we cross in the middle of the street, and especially at the green where there's parking on the interior, but there are businesses on the outside portion of the green. You know, we park our car in the middle of the block and we walk straight across the block. And you really shouldn't do that. Cars don't always expect you to do that. So take a little extra time, go to the corner, walk through a crosswalk, you know, follow the lights that are there. We actually were bold enough while we did our walk to see some people do that, and we asked them, you know, why did you cross here? Why did you cross against the light? And again, they said, well, we didn't see any cars coming, or, you know, just needed to get across to the bank or something like that. And you need to follow the rules. And we actually put together little rack cards that we were fortunate enough that the Morristown Partnership folks accepted. They're in English and Spanish, and they tell everybody that it's a shared responsibility for safe roads. The drivers have to follow the rules, and the pedestrians have to follow the rules.
But now, we hear all the time that pedestrians have the right of way.
Right.
So, I mean, are there exceptions, or does common sense come into play too?
Yeah, absolutely common sense. You still have to look. You know, that driver, all of us know, sometimes we're distracted. So you still need to look at the driver, try to make some visual contact with them so they know that you're there and you're crossing. I've had it happen to me. Yes, you have to stop at a crosswalk, but someone just walks out in the middle of the street in front of you. It's just not a good idea.
Yeah. And what about motorists? What are some of the things that motorists should be on the lookout for when it comes to pedestrian traffic?
Right. Again, know that we all tend to take the shortest route someplace. So do know that some people will walk out in the middle of the street, or they'll cross without paying attention. Especially now with all of our earbuds and our cell phones and all those kinds of things that we're using, we're not always paying attention. So you need to make sure you follow the signals, but you need to make sure you're just aware. Yeah.
And again, I think you mentioned this at the very beginning. Not only are we trying to make walkability a safety issue, but there are also health concerns as well,
right,
correct?
Right, absolutely. Just taking a walk, a 10-minute walk, a 20-minute walk, a 30-minute walk during the day makes us healthier, helps us with addressing chronic disease.
Yeah. So where does the Morristown Pedestrian Project go from here?
We are actually hoping to meet with many different community organizations and kind of pass the project on to them so that it has local control.
Yeah. Can the pedestrian project, while it's labeled the Morristown Pedestrian Project, it is one that can be brought to several different communities in Morris County, and if someone out there is interested in learning more about the pedestrian project and perhaps how their community can be more walkable, I'm going to give you some contact information. It'll be for Denise Lanza. You may reach Denise at the Morris County Park Commission. Her telephone number is 973-326-7615. You may also email Denise Lanza at dlanza@morrisparks.net. Now, you may also find some information on a couple of websites, the Morris County Park Commission website, which is morrisparks.net, and the Alliance for Morris County Parks website, which is Park Alliance, one word, parkalliance.net. Denise Lanza, I want to thank you very much for
Thank you, Joe.
being with us today. Now, if you have a question about Morris County government that you would like to have answered, you can call the Morris County Freeholders Office, and that telephone number is 973-285-6010. You may also visit the county government's website, and that is morriscountynj.gov. And when you're there, please sign up for the Morris County Connections. That is the electronic newsletter. It'll keep you up to date on Morris County government news, and you can also take advantage of the many social media that Morris County government embraces. I'm Joe Garifo. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Hello, I'm John Pecoraro, surrogate of Morris County. If a loved one passes away and you need to transfer property to their heirs, you must come to the surrogate's court. This is true even if the deceased did not have a will. This process is known as probate. Now, probate in New Jersey is not overly complicated, and my staff is available to assist you. If you have any questions, please call my office at 973-285-6500 or visit our website at morrissurrogate.com.
Welcome back to Focus on Morris County. I'm Joe Garifo, and on this segment of the program, we are going to preview a summer camp that is being offered this year at the Morris County School of Technology, which is on 400 Main Street in Denville. And here to give us a preview of that summer camp are my guests. First, to my left, is Gina DiDomenico. Gina, with the School of Technology, is the student recruiter, and she is also community relations at the School of Technology. And seated next to Gina is Irene Schrader. Irene is Enterprise Program Manager at the School of Technology, and I guess she is also in charge, let's say, of the summer camp, which we're going to learn about. But before we do, ladies, first of all, welcome to the program. Thank you for being here. Before we get to the summer camp, Gina, I want to ask you if you would just give our viewers a little bit of an overview of the Morris County School of Technology.
Sure. The Morris County Vocational School District is comprised of full-time academy programs on which students in 8th grade would apply for high school. Those programs range from visual and performing arts to healthcare science, law and public safety, veterinary, to name a few of them. We also have share time programs, which are half-day programs, and those programs are for 11th and or 12th grade students, ranging again from auto, carpentry, welding, plumbing, and included in that are 6 special needs programs. And then the school also offers adult education.
The special needs programs, what are some of those that are offered at the School of Technology?
We have retail supermarkets, food service, auto body, auto service, building construction. I'm trying to remember the list.
And these are all
building grounds maintenance.
These are all hands-on, because I know you mentioned the supermarket program. And if you ever have the chance, I'm assuming that if somebody calls ahead of time, maybe they could take a little tour. But if you've ever had the chance to be in the School of Technology, the supermarket program there is unbelievable. It's a hands-on program. The students are there, and it does prepare them for a career.
Yes. All of the programs prepare students for employment.
Yes.
You know, they will get that hands-on component. Share time will be 5 days a week, half a day, so a student really is focusing.
Yeah. Irene, I want to turn to you now, because we are going to be focusing on the summer camp offered at the School of Technology. Before we start to talk about the specifics, give us, if you will, the date, the location, the time for the summer camp this summer.
Well, the dates are from July 9th through the 12th. The times will be from 8:30 in the morning to 2:30 in the afternoon, and it's at our School of Technology on Main Street in Denville.
Now, just from looking at the information that is on the School of Technology's website regarding the summer camp, I take it that this is really not your typical summer camp. Would you say it's more of an enrichment program?
Yes, it is. You know, as a parent with children that have gone through the years of summer camp and working full-time, I know that there's a need for parents to give their children opportunities. And at this age group, which is those entering 7th, 8th, and 9th grade, they're a little too young for the traditional camp experience, or a little too old for the camp experience, but too young to go and get a summer job. So this really is a great experience for them, not only to be engaged during the summer, but to explore careers.
So what are the areas that a student would have to choose from at the summer camp?
We have construction arts, technology, a vet tech program, cosmetology, and culinary. Culinary is a big draw for students.
Okay. Now, you mentioned construction, the broad category, but what would some of the things be that a summer camper would learn or would become involved in if they selected the construction area?
What we did last year was the students are divided up in two groups, and we have 2 instructors per subject area. So during the morning, one group would be building a trebuchet, which is a catapult from the Middle Ages. So that's where they get their hands-on working on with tools and actually building something. And the other half of the time they'd be spending with an architect and working on designing a castle where the catapult would be used. So they design using something like AutoCAD, which is a very professional level application, and then they build their little castle. And at the end of the week, they actually shoot the catapult and see who goes the farthest.
They don't shoot another camper?
No,
okay.
From the castle, they shoot the catapult.
Yeah, okay.
And then they measure the distance.
Now, what about, you mentioned cosmetology also. What would be some of the things that would be learned?
Well,
here?
of course, hair design,
Yes.
nails, but we want to take not just a outward beauty focus. They'll be doing yoga, meditation, massage, so they understand the science behind cosmetology.
Now, would something like this, let's say an 8th grader goes to the summer camp and takes one of these courses, would something like this, you think, help that student to decide whether or not they wanted to go to the School of Technology in their high school
Absolutely.
years? Yeah.
Yes, I think that a program for like construction or cosmetology would help them make a decision, in 2 years as a sophomore when they would apply, and give them a feel for, what the program has to offer.
Okay. Now, a couple of the other areas, Irene, that you mentioned, one was culinary arts. What are some of the things that a student, a camper, during the summer camp would be involved with here?
Well, cooking and baking, and last year that was our biggest draw, and we actually had a waiting list for that program. And of course, because there are two professional chefs who are also instructors, they did different things. So in the morning they might prepare lunch for themselves or some sort of a dinner menu, and then in the afternoon they would do baking, doing the cake boss type stuff, which was really neat. And then they would take whatever was left over home. This year I'm hoping they'll share with the rest of the campers and the staff.
Now, you mentioned technology. Again, that's a broad term. Specifically for this year's summer camp, July 9th through July the 12th, what would the campers be involved with in the technology field?
Well, we're hoping, last year we did Photoshop, Illustrator, where they worked on still images, and they also did some animation. This year we're hoping to add gaming and 3-dimensional animation. and they'll come up with their own films that we'd like them to show to the rest of the campers, and maybe even vote on them as far as giving them an Academy Award for this summer camp, which we think will be a great incentive for them. And a lot of fun.
Yeah, yeah. Which is a key, because sometimes if a student at this age says, yeah, I want to go to a summer camp, but then it's not all lecture. Let's say
no,
it's not like
right.
you're going into a classroom and having, you know, a full day of lecture material. You're actually doing things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The instructors are all told it has to be fun.
Yeah.
And it is. Last year when we did a survey, especially the culinary program, we did a survey of what they liked best about the program and what they liked least about the program. And 100% of them said the day was too short.
Okay.
That was their least
Okay.
favorite.
Okay.
Going home.
What about vet tech? You mentioned vet tech, veterinary
Well,
work.
that's going to be a big draw for us because Vet Tech is one of our academies, and we know that there are students out there, campers, that are going to be very interested in that. We're still working on the details, but they of course will be learning how to deal with animals, taking care of them. We're hoping to do some field trips, taking them to actual veterinary offices, maybe a zoo, so they can see the behind-the-scenes aspects of what goes on and taking care of those type of animals.
Yeah. Gina, if I'm not mistaken, and please correct me if I'm wrong, but a student who attends the Academy for Veterinary Sciences, do they not also have the opportunity to work in a vet's office, or at least maybe intern in a vet's office? Is that one of the opportunities that is presented to them?
Yes, our academy students, it's actually required as part of their high school curriculum.
Okay.
So a traditional day for a student would be their math and their science and their required classes, their academy piece. And then as a senior, all of our seniors have to do an internship. So in veterinary, for example, they could be in a veterinary's office working as a vet tech, and really getting a feel for if they like that and perhaps want to go on to study it further.
Because, well, I mean, that's a good point, because an internship not only gives a student the chance to find out what they want to do, but also perhaps what they don't want to do.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Yeah.
Getting back to the summer camp, Irene, who's going to be teaching these courses?
They're all professionals in their fields, and teachers as well.
Are they staff members, some of them from
Some of
the
them
School
are.
of Technology?
Yes, some of them are our own staff members, but we reach out and recruit the best match. So we have had people from other vocational school districts and other regular school districts.
Okay. Now, how would a typical day at the summer camp be structured? When does it start? What do you do? Is there lunch? Is the lunch provided? Do the campers have to take their lunch? Give us a typical day.
Well, they'll be arriving at 8:30, and they'll go into their cohort group from 8:30 to 11 o'clock, and they'll be working on. They choose one of those camps.
Okay.
They can't take all of them or select several of them. They make a commitment to one. They come in at 8:30. They work with the instructor of that group in the morning, and then at 11:30 till 11:30 they'll have lunch. And from 11:30 to 12 we have something called Camp Interlude, which is just for that age group, they can't sit too long.
Like recess.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So we have activities in the gym where they can get their energy out, just something to break up the day. And then at 12 o'clock they go into the second half with the second instructor of that subject area, and they work on the activities from 12 to 2:30.
Okay.
And then
Now, is there a tuition involved? I'm sure there must be a tuition
Yes,
involved.
yes.
What can you tell us about that?
It's $325 for the week per camper, but we're offering a 10% discount for early registration. So if you register by April 1st, we'll offer a 10% discount.
Okay. And now the camp, and if you said this and I zoned out, I apologize. Do campers bring their own lunch, or can they purchase lunch? Is
No,
lunch
you didn't
provided?
zone out. We talked about the culinary group.
Yes.
They will eat their lunch after having made it.
Ah, okay.
But the rest of them will bring their own lunch, and
Okay.
that's worked out very good well in the past.
Yeah.
We certainly will probably have the culinary group do some treats for them throughout the course of the day.
Okay. Irene, I'm going to ask you to give us the information again regarding the summer camp at the School of Technology, the dates, the location, and also email address, maybe a website address, telephone number for someone who wanted to register his or her child.
Sure. The camp dates are July 9th to the 12th. It's at the School of Technology, 400 East Main Street in Denville. And the time is from 8:30 in the morning to 2:30 in the afternoon. The age group is 7th, 8th, students entering 7th, 8th, and 9th grade. Tuition is $325. If anyone is interested, they can go to our website, which is www.mcvts.org, or you can call us at our offices, which is 973-627-4600, extension 245.
Okay. And Gina, the summer camp also gives parents, I guess, a chance to look over the School of Technology while things are a little bit less hectic than the regular school year. And again, perhaps make a decision of whether or not their children would want to attend.
Right.
Yeah.
I think the summer camps provide a nice introduction
Yeah.
into what the school has to offer for
Okay.
both full-time and share time.
Gina DiDomenico and Irene Schrader, I want to thank you both very much for being with us today and previewing the summer camp that is being offered July 9th through the 12th at the Morris County School of Technology. Now, if you have a question about Morris County government that you would like to have answered, you can call the Morris County Freeholders Office at 973-285-6010. You may also visit the county government's website, that is morriscountynj.gov. When you're there, why don't you sign up for the county's electronic newsletter, Morris County Connections. You'll get news about the Morris County government delivered straight to your inbox. And also, don't forget to take advantage of the many social media that the Morris County government embraces. I'm Joe Garifo. I want to thank you very much for being with us. Tune in again next week at this time, won't you, for another edition of Focus on Morris County.